What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing 3 teams that I think are going to have a lot of play in this new 30-second switch clock mechanic meta in Great League right now. So Niantic has changed the switch clock from 60 seconds to 30 seconds, and we've had a couple days to experience it right now. The battles are crazy chaotic. I personally actually enjoy this change. I think it makes for really fun and exciting content, and it makes the battles very fast paced, but it does require you to really stay on your toes and keep an eye on that switch clock and try to be aware of where your opponent's switch clock is at. Pokemon that are very spammy, like Weather Ball users, or Pokemon that have very strong hitting self-debuffing moves like Superpower or Wild Charge, these Pokemon are going to be very strong in this meta because you're able to switch very quickly. And so, as well as Pokemon that are fairly flexible, typical safe swaps like Sableye. So this first team that I'm going to be showcasing is Melmetal, Sableye, and Medicham. And so thought process behind this, Melmetal is weak to counter users, so Sableye is a decent response to that. And then Medicham is also a fighter that can handle the other fighters. But you're going to see, even though I'm stuck in this bad matchup of Sableye against Umbreon, the switch clock is going to be coming up very fast. I'm going to go straight for this return, and then my switch clock will be up right away. Because the switch clock is only 30 seconds, this essentially means that it takes like 2 charge moves worth of time plus a couple of fast moves in between, and then the switch clock is essentially up. So if you've thrown a charge move, your opponent's thrown a charge move, you can pretty much expect that the switch clock is going to be up relatively soon after that. So it makes for very fast and exciting gameplay. My opponent did not shield that foul play there, which is really unfortunate for me. I'm just going to let my Sableye go and hope that double shielded Medicham is going to be my win con. In the back is a Azu, not super great for me. My Medicham is a Hundo IV, and I've only powered it up a couple levels past level 40, so it's not super XL. My Sableye is like a 12 attack or something, so it's not crazy XL, but I think if you do run Sableye, you for sure still need return, unless you have a Shadow Sableye built. I've actually seen a couple people run Shadow Sableye, and because you get that boosted shadow damage, I don't think return is as needed. You can run it with Power Gem for some decent coverage, and that shadow damage bonus really does well there. I do prefer Ice Punch and Psychic on Medicham just because it gives you a little bit more coverage, but I have also seen some people who run Dynamic Punch on Medicham, and it definitely makes it a solid pick. So this is a very strong lead for me, regardless if it's Powder Snow or Charm. It is Powder Snow. Don't have a direct response to a Sableye switch-in with this team, because the backline is going to struggle against Sableye a little bit. Gonna shield up this foul play. But the problem is that the switch clock is, my opponent's switch clock is already up. But I kind of need to guarantee that my Melmetal is still going to be able to see their Alola Ninetales. So I'm going to bring in my Sableye and just let this go. I do need to guarantee that, but they make a really nice catch. Really nice catch. My clock is almost up. I'm trying to get out of here. Barely not able to. I have to let the Sableye go, but I will be able to align my Melmetal with this Ninetales. And their Sableye is pretty low. Oh, I actually brought out my I brought out my Medicham there, recognizing that it was Powder Snow, Alola Ninetales, and then that way my Medicham gets to avoid the Sableye. But they have a Jellicent in the back. This is not really good for me. If it's Shadow Ball, it's worth the shield, so I will shield it up. But they still have a Sableye. Gonna throw a Rock Slide on this Jellicent. My Medicham does have some loaded energy. Gonna swap right here, and I go for the Psychic Snipe down on this Jellicent, but it's barely not enough to KO. They swap into their Ninetales. They're able to get to a move. Is this a Dazzling Gleam? Oh man, it is a Dazzling Gleam, so it takes me out. I have to be able to Thunder Shock down this Ninetales, but it's just not going to happen. My opponent played very well. This team does not have a direct response to a Sableye safe swap, and they exploited that very well. Good game. Deoxys lead is tough, for sure. I'm actually going to bring out Medicham here. This is kind of my softer counter. to Deoxys. To be honest, this isn't necessarily a positive matchup for Medicham, but it's at least somewhat more neutral than the Melmetal matchup. These teams that I'm going to be showcasing today are just kind of teams that I theory crafted, but the concept behind it is essentially using Pokemon that are somewhat flexible or have these heavy-hitting self-debuffing moves that allow you to take advantage of the switch clock a little bit. They bring out Vigoroth. I'm wondering if this is the triple counter team, so potentially they might have Obstagoon in the back. But I'm just going to throw this Foul Play. They let it go through. I have energy stored on my Medicham, so I'm going to swap and immediately throw the Psychic. They let it go. It does not take them out. They swap back into the Deoxys. Able to get this Ice Punch off. That's pretty huge. Even if this Deoxys farms me all the way down, I'm going to be able to align my Sableye with this, which is really good. And it's actually a CMP tie. So really good for me. Going to let this go down. Bring out the Sableye. Most likely just a Psycho Boost. So I let it go. And they have a Medicham in the bag. This is actually very scary for me. Gonna throw this one Foul Play and then store that Foul Play and switch it to my Melmetal, but this is all sorts of bad. Medicham does really, really good against Melmetal. I have to shield up that Ice Punch. And then I'm just pretty much gonna throw these back-to-back superpowers or keep an eye on my clock. My clock came up right there. So I could have swapped in Sableye and Foul Played and then throw another superpower, but I'm going to throw that there. And unfortunately, I got countered down, but all three of their Pokemon are low. So I'm going to shield this and just keep Thunder Shock and everything down. Vigoroth comes in, it goes down. Medicham comes in, it goes down. Deoxys comes in, it goes down. So we're able to take that game. All right, the second team here, Umbreon, Politoed, and Defense Deoxys. So Defense Deoxys is running Psycho Boost and Rock Slide. Arguably, you could run Thunderbolt instead of Rock Slide, but Psycho Boost, I think, is a must-have in this current 30-second switch timer meta. And Politoed is running Earthquake, which does require a Legacy TM. This gives you more play against Azumarill if you see an Azumarill in the lead. So I'm going to switch to my Politoed. Out comes the Abomasnow. I am bluffing a Blizzard here, so I build up to Blizzard energy, and then I'm just going to throw this Weather Ball. Politoed is so spammy that you can really stall out this switch clock, and that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to shield this. I still have not revealed Earthquake yet, so they're still somewhat threatened by Blizzard. I have energy stored on Umbreon. I go immediately into Umbreon, going to throw this Foul Play. Any chip damage I can get on it is really nice. They reveal a Stunfisk. So I kind of need to make sure that my Deoxys somewhat avoids that. But I still need to be able to take out that Abomasnow. They're also running Muddy Water. Muddy Water, Unova Stunfisk there. Which is definitely a spicy moveset. They go for Muddy Water again. Oh yeah, I think my opponent messaged me after this and said they accidentally picked the wrong Stunfisk in this game. But still kind of funny. I got hit by the Earthquake there, which is not great. Gonna go for this Earthquake. They do shield it. Really unfortunate for me. I'm making another swap into Umbreon here. Gonna continue to chip with this Foul Play. You can see just how much pressure Umbreon puts in with how spammy it is. Gonna let this go and save the shield for Deoxys. I was not able to get to that Foul Play. Really unfortunate. Gonna bring out the Deoxys here. Just farm, farm, farm. I will shield this up because most likely it's going to be the move that's going to hit me for the most damage. Out comes Politoed again, hoping that it's just a Weather Ball and I can farm this down. It is just a Weather Ball. They don't get to another move. Really good for me. Out comes the G-Fisk. I'm farming. Going to throw the Psycho Boost here and then I can clear my debuff. So I'm just going to swap there. Clear my debuff. I get farmed down. It doesn't matter. Just going to go for this Psycho Boost, and this should be just barely enough to knock out this Deoxys here, or knock out this Abomasnow. Get a little bit of lag, always at the end of the game, which is always scary, but we're able to take out that Abomasnow there. Good game. Umbreon into Pelipper. Some of you may be wondering why I'm not showcasing my opponent's names. There's been a little bit of drama in the PvP community, especially with streamers where some people don't necessarily want their battles shown on stream, and it's totally understandable, especially when you're pushing like top of the leaderboards and stuff. You might want to keep your team a secret. And so what I am going to start doing most likely on my streams, or maybe especially when I'm getting higher up there in the ratings, is like putting a blocker image over my opponent's half of the screen when I'm searching for an opponent, and then that way no one will know who I'm being matched up against. I've seen some other streamers do this, and I can totally understand the frustration with some people that they have. Maybe they don't want their battles shown on stream when thousands of people may be watching. So totally understandable, and I think I'm going to try to implement that same sort of thing in my YouTube videos here, because some people may really love that they get featured in my videos, but some people may not appreciate having their battles showcased in my videos. So this is something that I will most likely do moving forward here, just to try to be respectful to everyone there. But Polytoad against any of the Mud Boys is a very favorable matchup. Whiscash, it's fairly neutral. We get some nice lag there. Really nice lag. Amazing lag. Gonna throw this Weather Ball here. And then I'm going to swap into Deoxys to catch this Mud Bomb. I think I even clicked the Psycho Boost. The nice thing about Psycho Boost and Weather Ball spam with Polytoad is that you can just keep moving in and out between these two Pokemon. I'm at another Psycho Boost, and my switch clock is going to be up again, and I have energy stored. So I go for the combo play once again. They swap to their G-Fisk to catch this move. Very nice play by my opponent. They anticipated the swap. But it doesn't matter, I'm still going to be able to get to a Weather Ball, and I easily survive this Mud Bomb here. So going to be able to get to this thing and take out the Whiscash. Good game. Umbreon into Mew, very favorable lead for me. A lot of people are running Mew, and like Defense Deoxys, very common picks, so Umbreon is pretty good at shutting that down. But especially the last couple days, I've seen a lot of people have adapted to the Umbreon by running Charmers, and so it's very tricky. Umbreon has a lot of neutral matchups if it can avoid those stinking Charmers. Out comes the Mew again. But this matchup is not that bad for Polytoad. Obviously, you need to look out for the Wild Charge, but it will drop their defense, and I'm at back-to-back Weather Balls once again. So I'm going to throw this Weather Ball, and then just swap into my Umbreon because I was able to completely stall out that switch clock. Going to catch a Surf, fine by me, and it was a CMP tie, so I'm even able to get this foul play damage off on this Mew here. That's really good for me. The Mew is farming. Out comes Drifblim. Oh my gosh, Umbreon has so much play against this team. So I'm going to throw this foul play. And I have another foul play loaded. Really good lag once again, but I'm going to throw this foul play. I don't know about you, but I've been experiencing a ridiculous amount of lag these past couple days. Niantic even took the servers down for server maintenance, but let's be honest, I don't actually know if anything even gets fixed in these server maintenances, and sometimes it feels like it's even worse after the maintenance. So I'm going to throw this Weather Ball onto the Umbreon. This team is so spammy, and it just allows you so much flexibility to weave in and out of matchups. I'm at another Weather Ball, so I'm going to throw it on this Mew here. Down goes the Mew. And I'm at very close to another Weather Ball. I will shield this up, get some Weather Ball damage off onto this Umbreon. I did not even have to use my Deoxys this game. This was just the Umbreon and the Polytoad show. And able to get to this last second Weather Ball. Polytoad is such a monster with its energy generation. Down goes the Umbreon. Good game. Umbreon into Azu. This is terrible. But I'm actually going to safe swap the Polytoad here. Typically, people that lead Azumarill, I would assume, would not have a grass type in the back, which is why I chose to go for Polytoad here as the safe swap. They're going to stay in. They throw a Play Rough. Going to let it go. At this point, my switch clock is up there, and they're still stuck. So I'm going to throw this Weather Ball, and then swap into my Deoxys to absorb whatever energy they're going to throw here. Out comes the Drifblim. So I'm just going to throw a Rock Slide. Once again, having Thunderbolt here also hits it for super effective. But then I'm able to get into my Umbreon while this Drifblim is still stuck. Any damage that this Drifblim throws easily can tank it on the Umbreon. Out comes the Azumarill. I need to stall the clock here. I need to stall the clock. But I'm also debuffed. But I'm going to throw this last resort. Most likely have to shield up a Play Rough from them. So I will shield this. I will preserve this Umbreon. I want it for that Drifblim. Switch into the Politoed once again. Out comes the Medicham. Going to continue chipping away with it. Our switch clocks are relatively in sync at this point. Down goes one Weather Ball. And I'm able to get to another Weather Ball. Are they going to shield this or are they going to let it go? They commit their final shield, or they still have a shield. Kind of tricky for me, but once again, Deoxys can safely absorb this damage. If I can farm this down, that's really good for me. But if they swap Drifblim, I have my Umbreon for that. So I'm farming. Deoxys is so bulky. I'm able to farm it all the way down. What is going to come out here? It's the Drifblim, so I go for the Rock Slide. And then I think I try to go for a combo play here. I get their final shield, but they swap, and they anticipated my swap, so they catch a foul play. Really nice move by them. But all I need to do is preserve this Umbreon, shield the Play Rough, land this last resort on the Azu, and then safely get to this foul play against the Drifblim, and this should be pretty straightforward. But what a wild game. So many swaps, so many charge moves thrown. It doesn't matter what this Drifblim throws, Umbreon can easily tank it. Umbreon and Defense Deoxys is actually a really common pairing, even outside of this 30-second timer meta. But it is just so strong. They're both bulky and both so spammy. Final team I want to showcase here is Mew, Vigoroth, and Alola Ninetales. Both Vigoroth and Alola Ninetales can handle some of Mew's worst matchups, being like Umbreon, and so, or even like Obstagoon or Scrafty. And Mew running Wild Charge, you're able to get off a lot of chip damage and then leave and clear your debuff. And Wild Charge is a very, very strong hitting move. So this is a pretty fun team. All three Pokemon kind of have average to somewhat below average bulk though, and so sometimes it's difficult to decide where you should spend your shield, but it once again allows you a lot of flexibility to move in and out of some of these matchups. Gonna throw the Body Slam on this Shift Tree and get rid of this thing, but they commit their final shield and I'm able to farm it down. It's really good for me. Out comes Hypno. I immediately go into my Mew and go for a Wild Charge here, but it's not enough to take out the Hypno, and then out comes Melmetal. Gonna throw another Wild Charge, and my switch clock is gonna be coming up pretty soon here. I'm at another Wild Charge, and I win CMP, so I'm just throwing this. Actually, I don't even know if this was a CMP time. My opponent might have lost track of my energy, but I ripped off 3 Wild Charges with Mew, did an insane amount of damage, and now Alola Ninetales can clean this up. Even if that was a Fire Punch, would have been able to tank it and take that game. Good game. Mew Mirror Match. Okay, so a lot of times people just go straight for the Wild Charge and then swap, but this person is running Zangoose, which really threw me off guard. Zangoose learns Night Slash and Close Combat. I'm fully committed to even committing both shields in this matchup if I have to. I just want to guarantee that I get rid of this thing, because this is most likely Close Combat. And then they might even swap to clear their debuff. That makes sense. They do. Out comes the Mew. So Vigoroth survives a Wild Charge, and I am intentionally throwing here to try to force the CMP tie. Their defense is dropped. This Body Slam is now going to do more damage, and I should be able to get to another Body Slam. They let it go through. I'm able to get to another Body Slam. I doubt that they shield this. They let it go. Zangoose can't farm down. It's a Melmetal, so I'm going to immediately switch into my Mew. And then I was really farming a lot there because I was expecting them to swap, but I'm just going to go straight Surf because I know it's enough to take out this Zangoose, but they shielded, and so I'm going to throw another Surf, get rid of this thing. Melmetal's still going to be kind of a problem though. So I catch on my Vigoroth here, most likely a Rock Slide. I'm 1 away from a Wild Charge. But Wild Charge will not KO, but I just want to get this damage off. They're able to get to a Rock Slide. I know Mew will barely survive this. My switch clock is up, so I can throw this Wild Charge, swap, clear my debuff, and most likely even Powder Snow this thing down. They get to a last second rock slide, but my Ninetales will be able to survive this. And down goes the Melmetal. Really exciting game there. All right, Skarmory lead, not too bad. Obviously, Wild Charge is going to almost one-shot here. But out comes Umbreon, and this was a stupid play by me. I should have went immediately into Vigoroth. There's no point in committing that energy there. All I did was desync our switch clocks, which is really brutal here. So I'm throwing Body Slam immediately to get off damage on this Umbreon, and then I'm just going to keep doing counter damage. But that was a really dumb move of committing energy here. I know that Skarmory is going to come in fairly soon, but now I don't have that energy stored anymore. Out comes Jellicent, and I actually need to align my Mew onto this Jellicent, and I'm going to have to align my Alolan Ninetales on their Skarm. I get Bubble Beamed, which feels so bad, but I'm at back-to-back Wild Charges here. I'm going to throw them both and then potentially even clear my debuff, because my Switch Clock will be up. So we're going to throw this, and then this was unfortunately a CMP tie. Most likely a Bubble Beam, and I'm hoping that I survive. I barely do. I swap into Ninetales. I need to land a Dazzling Gleam on it, though. You could also run Charm Ninetales if you wanted to, but I prefer the energy generation. It's just another Bubble Beam. Out comes Skarmory. If this is a Brave Bird, I really should shield this, but it's just a Sky Attack. Thank goodness. I'm debuffed, so I want to clear that debuff. I swap into Mew and get farmed down. That was a terrible play, but at least my debuff is cleared now, and I have back-to-back Weather Balls stored. Gonna throw this first one. It's not going to be able to take it out. Gonna throw this second one. Potentially might even swap to Vigoroth, but my Switch Clock is still not up. They swap into Umbreon, and I was trying to catch a move there, but it didn't work out, so instead I farm it down. What are they going to bring out? They still have Jellicent and Skarmory. Out comes Skarmory. I'm just going to throw this Body Slam to get rid of this thing. Out comes Jellicent. I really need to get this Bulldoze off. I'm able to do it. And then I have a little bit of energy stored on the Ninetales as well. But I actually want to force them to commit some energy here because they can't hex me down. So they do throw some energy. It's just a Bubble Beam. I live it, and this Weather Ball should be just enough to take out this Jellicent here. Very close game. Good game. One more battle for this video, folks. Mew mirror match once again. So sometimes people just throw a Wild Charge right away and switch out. So I'm just going to throw Surf right away and most likely draw a Shield. And then I'm going to swap into my Vigoroth here and catch the Wild Charge. That's fine by me. It does do a lot. Out comes Skarmory. So I'm wondering if this is the Mew Skarmory Scrafty team, the Asian Milkman team. If that is the case, my Alolan Ninetales is going to have a good amount of play against the backline. I actually swap into my Mew here. Arguably a mistake. And it's a Brave Bird. Holy crap. Okay, out comes Mew. And I'm just going to essentially save both shields for my Ninetales here. I have to shield whatever this is. I'm anticipating a Scrafty in the back. They're running Flame Charge, Wild Charge. So I really got to get rid of this Mew. Able to Powder Snow it down. That's great. It's a Talonflame in the back. This is so bad. This is so bad. This is not a Scrafty. These Incinerates are doing so much damage. I'm able to get to another Weather Ball here. And they swap into Skarmory. So I have to throw this Weather Ball right here and then try to farm down the Skarm and have energy for the Talonflame, but I can't farm it down. I have to throw a Body Slam right here. And Incinerate is a 5-turn move, so I can get one counter and queue up this Body Slam in the span of time that they're throwing. Not enough to take it out. I need one Powder Snow through, and I get it, and this will be enough to take out the Talonflame. Very good games there. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content, and best of luck in this crazy 30-second switch timer that we have here. I'll see you in the next video.